Alright everybody, how goes it? Hope you're well. Well, this is the TV edition of today's manufacturers race, which was at the Tokyo Express South Inner Loop, and it was the Group 4. So we're in the Porsche, the Group 4 Porsche. I was a little bit worried about this race in the fact that I knew that a lot of penalties were going to be getting handed out. Because if you just touch the wall in the wrong way, it's a street circuit, but you've got walls either side of you, there's no runoff or anything. So if you happen to hit the wall, you tended to get a penalty. And it was also, it seemed that even if you slightly touched a car when you were cornering or, you know, in a braking zone, it was giving out penalties then as well. So I was a little bit worried how this was going to go. Again, you know what I'm going to say. Qualifying did not go well. And I honestly can't remember where we started. We'll find out in a second. It was near the back anyway. I totally messed it up, as usual. I don't know what it is with me with qualifying. I just can't seem to sort it out. You can see the qualifying in the on-board footage video, which is a few videos before this. There we are, 18th and 9th in the room. So it was damage limitations from the word go, really. We were 9th in the room, which means that, you know, really we should have been up in the top 10 at least. And the Gran Turismo expects us to finish in 9th at least. That's what the door stickers stand, one of the things that they stand for. So back down in 18th from the start, I knew we had a big job on our hands to get anywhere near the top 10. Can't actually remember what tyre I started on. I just knew I had to, well, actually it was probably the hards. Or was it mediums? I can't remember which tyre we had to use in this race. Let me have a look. No, it was racing softs that you had to use. So we were probably on the soft tyre. I think it was only a 12 lap race. So you can see the penalties that are being handed out already. There's plenty there. So that's what we were worried about. But in this race you are going to see a lot of dirty driving. Which hindered us a lot. as it always does. And this corner here, breaking down into that was proving to be hard work. And the other heavy braking zone, that was very easy to outbrake yourself. And if you were on the outside, where I am now, so you can see there's the first example of dirty driving. It's kind of off camera, where he was just pushing me into the wall. I could see the front of his car, literally steering into me, which pushed me into the wall. And although he's got a penalty, he didn't get a penalty for doing what he did. Well, that's the first example of the dirty driving that we're going to see in this race. So yeah, what I was saying, in the corner that's coming up, if you're on the outside going for the overtake, which means that you're on the inside for the corner, it's very hard to spot your braking zone, or your braking point, sorry. This corner here. So as you can see, I went quite deep there. But there was a lot of penalties in front of us, so hopefully we'll be able to get past them when they do end up serving them. It was quite a compact race. There's quite a lot of cars around each other. I expected us to spread out a bit, really. There's either McGann that knocked us wide. Luckily he didn't do it again there. Well, we got a tap there, which sent us straight into the wall. So I was a bit gutted about that, lost all that hard work that we'd done. So that was another example of some dirty driving. But it was also, I think we also outbraked ourselves as well, which is what I was getting at before. So because of that we ended up with a 4.5 second penalty. Which is going to put us even further back. So I was actually thinking at this point that the race was done and dusted. But it's always a good thing to say to yourself, never give up, because you never know what's going to happen. So I needed to get past this Nissan quickly. I was quite surprised at the fact that he was slowing me down, to be honest. I expected that Nissan to be just zooming away from us with the speed that it's got in a straight line. But we were certainly able to keep up with him and struggle to get past him. So we're going to serve this penalty now. Luckily the car behind wasn't too close, so he wasn't able to take advantage of that. And I was still in the just in the slipstream of that Nissan. I think I was about 1.3 seconds behind, so I was pleased about that I was able to, you know, be able to catch him back up. You see, we've managed to catch him up quite quickly there. So I was hoping to get right up behind him, ready for when he served this penalty. And the car was doing well on the tyres as well, so I didn't feel the need to pit just yet. But unfortunately we didn't manage to get past him. We were just a little bit too far behind. That's the thing about that penalty zone. It doesn't really, it slows you down, but it doesn't really penalise you an awful lot. So here we go for the first pit stop. So now we had to push, because as you can see we're in 20th position there, last position. but I was glad that I came out in clean air, so I got a nice clean track in front of me. I knew that I'd pitted differently to everybody else, so I knew that they still had to pit, or some of them still had to pit, which is why we're on our own in the middle of the race. But this was good because, you know, no one in front of us, no one to worry about behind us. We can concentrate on picking our own lines and pushing as hard as we could, and that is what's going to give you an advantage. It's going to slowly but surely push you up the field. So if I remember rightly as well, we were doing some of our fastest laps here. I think we were, the goal was to start putting in qualifying laps, similar sort of times, and we did manage to do that. So as you can see, and if you just saw it, the car in front just disappeared around that corner as we were coming out of that hairpin there. So it was working. We were starting to catch people up. So we were going for a massive undercut, really. So somebody must have been in the pits there, so we moved up to 19th. So this might be around about the time where the other cars were starting to come in. So that was a perfect corner, that. It was a perfect sector, to be honest. Hit all the apexes, and as you can see, we're starting to catch that car in front. And being on your own in clean air, it just shows you what you can do without the dirty driving that happened to us earlier. Just shows you how easy it is to catch people up. Bit deep there. So that will cost us a couple of tenths maybe. So now we're up to 16, so there must have been a couple more people in the pits there. So you'd have to be wary of that they're on fresh tyres. But mine was still looking good from what I can remember. So I was still pushing. It's those sort of taps on the walls that you just saw then that usually give you the penalties. I obviously didn't do it that hard to trigger it. It was just enough to get away with. can see all the cars in front there. The pushing as hard as we could was working. We were starting to catch them all up. And from when we were back in, well, starting 18th and then backing down to 20th when I thought the race was over, now we're in this position, 15th, with still a few laps to go, and seeing a gaggle of cars in front of us. The top 10 was back on the cards. It's a full train. I can't quite see the. There must be up to 9th place, just a few seconds down the road. So that's how much we've caught them up. If we can just sort qualifying out, we could be up in the top 5. So I managed to get past those two guys then. So we're up into 13th. So now we were back in the middle of the pack. I was hoping I was just going to be able to keep it smooth, keep it clean, and move forwards, because we were still catching the cars in front, so I knew there was going to be other positions to be had. Too deep there, outbrake myself trying to overtake him. I had the move done, I just outbrake myself. Like I say, when you're on that side of the track, it's not easy to spot your braking points for that corner. can see there's a top 10 to be had there. So this was coming towards the end of the race. So I was hoping for a top 10 here. I could see the position that we hoped for from the start in the grasps of our hands. So you can see the dirty driving from the other Porsche there. I mean, I had the inside line, I had the racing line on that corner, and I had it done. It looked as though I was turning, when I was coming out of the corner, that I hit him, but really he turned into where I was. So there was contact. Luckily neither of us got a penalty, but after that happened there was no need for him to keep on tapping me. Why he kept on tapping me on the inside, I don't know, whether he was trying to give me a penalty. But it's a sort of dirty driving you don't need. But we've managed to make it to the top 10. So now we just have to hang on to it and possibly get P9. So that was a bit rude as well from him. I was going for the overtake and he pushed me into the wall again so that I couldn't overtake him, which let the other guy through. See, he did it again there as I was going past him, but luckily because of the shenanigans that those two were having between themselves, I managed to drop them, but see, they're both still fighting. There's no need for it. It's dirty driving. I mean, I was lucky to come out of that, but instant karma, I guess. I managed to drive myself through it and into 9th position. And all that happened on the last sector of the last lap. And that is why you never give up. So, starting 18th, being knocked down to 20th, ending up finishing 9th. I think there's a few positives to be taken from that. Strategy worked, good clean driving worked. So yeah, we've just got to sort out qualifying and then it'll be Reet. Right, thanks for watching guys. The next video that's coming up will be the Mazda Touring Car Championship, which was from Willow Springs Horse Thief 2, I think was the name of the track. It's quite a bizarre name, but anyway, that's the next video that's coming up. Well, thanks for watching this one. I shall see you all on the next one. Have you seen you?